Welcome back to the For the Badge podcast on Chelsea in the Champions League. Some other results as well. We'll definitely get to all that. But hey, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Get the notification bell on. You know what time it is. All right. As I was watching the Arsenal City game, obviously, I did not get to watch the Chelsea Dortmund game live, but that's where we will begin. What do we think, guys?
I thought it was a good performance. It was a little bit unfair that we didn't score. I hate that we gave up the goal, but I mean, yeah, the dude's fast. He's just ridiculously fast at that. But we should have scored 3 or 4 goals. And I thought we were set up well. I love Mudryk and Chilwell overlapping each other. It's going to be very difficult to stop once they can actually start scoring. What about you, X? What'd you think?
I thought it was very, again, I think the team's overall performance was very well done. I like the glue that we had. We had a camaraderie. We kind of figured out they knew where each other were a lot. Where I will get at this is, I don't think Felix needs to be skying 18 or 16 yard, actual wide open FIFA tap ins. Just put it on the frame, let it go. The issue that I have with this game is there were so many deep runs on that counter, and Dude Man is extremely fast. It's tactical and mistake, and maybe both on Potter and players' part for Enzo to be the one that drops back to try to mark that. Because they had had it since the 20th minute of the game. They were trying to burn down this field. They knew they had speed on us.
It was 1v0 though. I mean,
yeah. Well, right, because he blew past Enzo. Enzo was never catching him.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying though is everybody for Dortmund was in the box. Like it was a failure in terms of tracking back, if anything.
Right.
I mean, unless you're going to put like Reece James back there, that dude's flying by everybody.
Right.
But is Reece James?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think
was he taking the corner? Because it was a corner kick. That's why
everybody
was in the box. That's why everybody was. Yeah.
I can't remember if he took the corner
Enzo shouldn't be the last one back.
But that's my point. That's my point about it being a corner kick, because that's just how you set up on the corner. Your big guys on defense are going in.
That's I'm completely fine with. Enzo's not keeping up with either one of those strikers. Why is he the furthest man back on the setup, on the set piece, when I'm putting my players in position? Why is Enzo? I understand he's the smallest, other than Cuckoo, but he's tiny. I get that. He doesn't need to be in the box, but he doesn't need to be the last one back trying to track that speed that both of those strikers possess. He's never catching them. He's never catching that guy. The minute he got the ball, he's never catching him. It's over. And I do think Felix could have had a game here.
4 goals.
He should have had a game here. He should have scored goals. I mean, that's what we brought him in for. He could have had 3 or 4. He hit the post, sailing in the 20th. I was just curse of Lukaku. I was frustrated. I was frustrated. Yeah.
But I thought in general, other than the goal, I thought we played well.
I was very. I do too as well. I think we go to Dortmund. Dortmund's an extremely hard place to play. They have a great home atmosphere. I think this game, the scoreline lies as well, a 1-0. I think it could have easily been a 2-3 in our favor, or a 2-1 in our, like, they had some open chances too. It was very back and forth. It was a great game for the neutral. We're going to sit here and nitpick it because, it's our club and we want them to do well in the Champions League. We have to do well in the Champions League, or it's going to have not only repercussions for the club, it's going to have repercussions, financial issues that we're going to run into next season if we don't go deep into this tournament. It's going to hurt us in more ways than just, Chelsea's out early. So that's not anything we need, especially if we're bidding on Neymar, wanting to bring Bellingham in. We can't let it slide here, and that's the biggest situation.
I thought he was really good. I mean, he led that midfield. That and the freaking what was it? Right back, Wolf. He was legit. That guy
I've
was
never heard of him.
good. He had some tackles that you're just like, how did he not foul somebody? Like at one point I was like, that's a foul. No, it's not. It was just a great tackle, you know.
So were y'all surprised that it looked like Dortmund kind of sat back a bit at home? Sat back and counter kind of styly.
Well, I think in the first half they
No.
didn't. In the second half, yes, most definitely. But I didn't think in the first half they really sat back. If anything, they really kind of came at us in the first half, and we sat back and we were trying to hit them on the counter. And that's what I was saying before we came on. That's where I felt a little bit more encouraged because we changed it up tactically in the second half. We put it to them at that point. We came at them, and this was before they got the goal, but we came at them, and it felt like, okay, you know, we knew coming in we're gonna have to be aggressive other than just hitting them on the counter. So I thought there was a lot of good things to take from it. I thought in general the team played well. I guess someone needs to tell Thiago Silva that you can't use your hand in the box.
Everybody else did it this week.
Everybody
else did it this week. He figured he could too.
I saw him give the ref the thumbs up and then get absolutely indignant when the ref gives him a yellow card for an intentional handball after he's like, yeah, I handballed it. Even if you're gonna use your hands in the box, don't tell on yourself.
Also, I will say this. He's gotten a lot of flack, but Koulibaly actually looked like Koulibaly for once. He played really, really well.
Should have
And I
scored.
think he could have scored. Oh, gosh.
Should have scored.
Like that much.
It should have been.
He's on the penalty spot.
It should have been.
That was a hell of a save,
Yeah.
though. You saw the goalie was moving away from that, and he reaches back.
I mean, if that's Kai Havertz, never mind.
Let's not talk about that.
No, it's not. Right, no.
Let's not talk about that.
I thought Reece James had himself a game, though. Like,
Reece was good.
I love seeing it healthy. I love seeing Chilwell healthy. You know, all the pieces are really starting to fall there. I'm so upset to lose this game. I think if it just puts so much pressure on going to the bridge, if we let that one slip again, it's just.
So X, here's the question. Here's the big question for you, X. What does this do for Potter's standing?
It can't be good, man. I don't understand when enough's going to be enough this season.
But this game wasn't on him. Y'all had 5. Y'all should have 5 goals.
It's on him.
Y'all could easily have had.
It's always on him. It's always on him. It always falls to him.
When is it on Kai Havertz, though? When is it not going to be on Kai Havertz?
When are you going to stop putting Kai in the game? He doesn't perform. The math's not there to start him. Quit starting him. That's on Potter.
Who are you going to start? Who are you going to start up there then?
Don't play Kai. Just don't play a 9. Call it for what it is. Do what we did back in 2015, 2016. We didn't have a 9. We just let Willian and Hazard run the field. Let them work it out the midfield.
So Felix in the false 9?
Absolutely. Plays it half the way anyway. Just stop playing him. He's an empty shirt. He's a stuffed shirt. He's a stuffed shirt. Kai Havertz has not scored a goal. He won't perform. He doesn't try. To me, it's just he doesn't have the work rate to not score goals and still be in the game. Timo worked. We've had 9s that worked. He doesn't work and he doesn't score goals. It'd be different if you were a poacher, you're putting in goals, you don't want to work, fine. You do what you're good at, fine. I get it. Do your job. Diego Costa didn't really work. He just got fed. But Kai doesn't either. So it's, again, my biggest question is why do you keep putting him at the 9 when he doesn't score week in, week out, and our biggest problem is not scoring goals? Are you more like Potter has nothing to lose here? He can't get in more trouble for not starting him. He can't get in more trouble for not having a striker on the field because tactically half the things he does doesn't make sense anyway. It's not like the press are going to kill him any more than he's already done. So like, where's the?
It must be said that he's gotten a tiny bit better and a tiny bit better and a tiny bit better and a tiny bit better. And yesterday, it was good. Like you can't say that it wasn't good. You just didn't finish.
Yeah.
Arsenal didn't finish, and I don't think they played bad. We just didn't finish, So that's why we lost. Same reason y'all lost, When you come away from the game, man, we should have scored 5 times.
Yep.
That's got to be the story. That's got to be the story, Because
thought
from
we
what
were
I
set up
saw,
well for the first time in probably the last
there was a lot of
6 months.
intricate, good-looking, intricate kind of
Yeah.
stuff, with good triangles on the wings and getting into the channels and stuff. And that's what we know Potter likes to do. He's just, it's just really struggled, I feel like, to implement that and to get that across. But it looked decent,
And I will say
especially
this: missing goals will overshadow this performance. But RLC again, he was bossing, and it was nice to see. Just because we've had so much. Like I saw Kova was on the bench, and I'm like, why? But it seems like he's kind of had some of a revolution in his performance. That's two good performances in a row after coming off of an injury. So it seems like he's kind of playing into a role that, honestly, we haven't seen that RLC since he tore his Achilles. So I'm excited about that too.
Well, do you think he's only in there due to injuries? Like if Zakaria is good, or if Kova is good, if Andre
Zakaria was
Santos
on the
can get a
bench.
visa.
Zakaria was on the bench. Same with Kova.
Conte will be on the bench. Conte will be on the bench come when they get back to the bridge for the second leg of this game. Conte will be on the bench.
You think that he'll play Conte
Kova's supposed to be healthy.
at the same time?
I think
I
they
do. I
want
think they'll play
Enzo to
Conte
push a little bit
with
further
the
up.
setup. I think with the setup, they'll play them. They'll stack them two back. They did when we played West Ham, and when we how he started this game.
So
Yeah.
what are we thinking
I do.
what are we thinking for the return for Dortmund at home? Are we hopeful?
I'm hopeful. You're not?
No.
I mean, it felt like everything but the goals this time, right?
I
Is it
mean, we
safe
were
to
the
say
better
that?
team in that game. Easily.
It's the same added story we've had all season. All season. The math isn't there. I'll tell you that. The math isn't there for us to look good. The math isn't there for us to have a better game. The math isn't there for us to advance. You got to do something different. If Kai Havertz is starting at the 9, here's your answer for me. If Kai Havertz is starting at the 9, no, we're not going to look any different.
What you think about the deep royal blues there, Lewis?
Well, the interesting thing is, same as you said, I didn't see any of the game until the end because I was watching the other game, and that's why I wrote in the chat where I asked the question, is Potter out for this one? And I know Patrick was like, no, X didn't answer, but I know what his answer is. But the only reason I asked is because
He
to
needs
mirror
to
what
be.
you
He's not.
what you said is that he's gotten better little by little as the team starts to return. And so, you kind of look at it. If they show up this weekend, which for the predictions, I picked them to do quite well this weekend, and I think they will. I really think they will. They're playing Southampton, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think it's a good game for them to
And,
have this
and
time.
I think they're gonna smash them. And if they smash them, I mean, and then they still played well enough, they what at minimum score one at the bridge against Dortmund, and then you have extra time. And I take my chances in extra time. So it's no pressure to score like I have to score two. You only got to score one and then defend. And then, you take your chances going forward. I think it's set up where it's clearly a transition year and the manager is trying to figure it out. Yes, you all who are Chelsea, you need a striker. But I mean, who hasn't that been an issue for, right? I mean, to find a striker is to like find a diamond, right? And so it's funny because Sterling played striker for City, but I mean, obviously he's not a striker. But I mean, I think X asks a legitimate question of no, well, actually Patrick asked it, but next, same difference. Who's the striker going to be? And I mean, you could play a false nine because Sterling has played that as well. But I mean,
He's
I hate
injured.
this. I'm the only reason I'm using him as the example is because, but he wasn't really good at that either. So you're like I agree with X. Maybe you play Felix there, and then you
Put 4 in
surround it
the
with
mid.
wingers, and then you
Yeah,
surround it
put
with
4 in the
wingers
mid.
that are just gonna like bomb and cross into the box. I mean, I do are is there Is their hope gone? No, I don't think their hope is gone. And I think the only up I would give Dortmund is that I think Dortmund played City last year. Yeah, they did. They played them last year, and City beat them primarily because Dortmund was really young. And I think Dortmund again is young, but I was gonna say, well, that would give Chelsea an advantage. But I mean, Chelsea is like an in between where they have young players and their experienced players have yet to kind of like cement themselves. So it really is a crapshoot. But do I think they can score one and then test fate in extra time in the next leg? Yeah, and I think they'll also do well in their next league game as well. I think the next few weeks are going to look up for them.
I do too. I also think I think that we'll see Dortmund be a little bit more narrow at the bridge, and it will kind of negate some of that speed. Adeyemi, that dude. He did a 100-yard run, and then he does a backflip like it's nothing. I mean, or a front flip.
No, it was a backflip.
Yeah, it was a backflip. It was a backflip. I mean,
he was running forward when he
running
did.
forwards, and he cut the backflip.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's just. I mean, I was frustrated in the moment because I'm like, how did we let him do that? But then you go back and you watch it, and the dude's just that good. I mean, when you've got that kind of speed.
I mean, who keeps up with him? James, maybe.
James,
maybe
the only one in the defense
but
is keeping up.
Not just keeping up with him. Who keeps up with him and then keeps him out?
James is the only one who needs to be tracking back.
That's
but again, we
one.
need him in the corner.
I think
Chilwell's not. Chilwell's. I think he's faster than he was.
The corner.
I think he was. He was either there or on the side of the box.
30 yards away from the play.
Right.
Yeah.
Modric is the only one probably faster than the guy, but we all know where Mud Dog's going to be, so it's not like
he was waiting at the top of the box to score.
It's just it fell to the wrong person marking the one of the fastest guys in the field. Enzo's just not keeping up with him.
Hey, question. A friend of mine who is also a Chelsea supporter, he sent me a text. I can't remember if I sent it to you guys that Chelsea may be in for Neymar next year. How would you feel about that?
Can he score goals?
Well, it's Neymar.
He's been decent this season.
It's Neymar.
I mean, if he can score goals,
when has Neymar not scored goals?
Neymar dumps goals, man.
We're so screwed.
You think Neymar would be a bad
score
sign?
Goals, I don't care. No. It's not my money. It's if he can score goals, then that's all that matters.
That type of culture coming to the club, bro. That whiny, flopping. He's just trash. It's trash. It's just trash. He's gonna sell jerseys. He's gonna make boily money for the coffers. It's trash. It's trash in, trash out.
I don't know. I think he could.
He's 31. We're gonna pay $70 million for a 31-year-old who plays at PSG.
He paid $80 million for a 21-year-old who's clearly super raw and untested. I think it'd be an odd. I think it would be an odd move. It's not
an odd move. Yes.
Have the slot filled. Like, I don't understand.
He's not a 9.
He's not a 9. Right. He's not. You're going to pay $100 million for Modric. And then what? I understand he might take the place of Ziyech but again,
I'd rather have Adeyemi.
Right. We have wingers. We need a 9 and we need to rebuild the defense. Like,
well, this is where I think.
Here's the question: would you take Messi?
I mean, who's not going to take Messi? I would buy a Messi jersey just to have a Chelsea jersey with a Messi name on the back.
Yeah.
Right. That alone,
take him.
I wouldn't pay for him. I don't want the money that comes with it, and that's the whole point that I'm.
I have a good point for why you shouldn't when we get to PSG Bayern, but
he's been looking rough.
I watched
that. You know who we should have bought was Sadio Mane, but I'm not going to get into any of this. $30 million was a fire sale for Sadio Mane.
Well, that's your typical Bayern purchase. They buy people at some ridiculously low price and
make Barcelona pay for it.
They got to kidnap somebody's kids or something to get.
Yeah, they have to. They got to hold a ransom.
That's how they got. Who was it? Sommer from their keeper. Right. Yeah, they were just like, no, he's ours now.
So, what do we think, guys? Do we win at the bridge?
Yes.
We beat and you go through?
I think we go through, yeah.
I hope so.
If
think
if
they
I
have-
hadn't seen the performance,
X gets really quiet on the when the predictions come around.
if I truly hadn't seen that performance on the road with that team, because we're going to see probably the same team, maybe Kova in there, but I doubt it.
It's like 2 weeks away.
But if I hadn't seen that performance and know what's also up ahead in the league, I think we build momentum, and I think we're kind of flying high by the time we get there. If we're not, then we'll discuss it differently going into that one. But I think right now, after seeing that performance, I think we get through.
I agree.
Excellent. Chelsea go through and Bayern smashes them. Okay. No, I'm sorry. I just
Yes,
That
they
would
do.
be that would be a
Yes, they do.
We're
nightmare
gonna get
draw.
Benfica. What are you talking
That
about?
would be a nightmare draw for us.
What do you think? What are you talking about? We're gonna get Benfica so that there's that added storyline that FIFA always or UEFA just always happens to have.
Right. Well, it's been a good one. This has been the For the Badge podcast.
Absolutely.
You know what time it is. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, get the notification bell on. It's definitely been a good one. I've enjoyed it. Hope you have as well. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.